Hello, I am from the British government with a fabulous announcement. No, I'm sorry, we still haven't sorted out this bleeding show, but we have finally managed to arrest our most wanted criminal. No, the other one, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Once we're done, we'll extradite his skippy ass off to Virginia to face a grand jury, because we're America's... Yeah, baby. We'd like to thank all who aided us in this operation, especially the Ecuadorian government.
Hola, I'm from the Ecuadorian government, and I'm here to confirm that our new president is America's too. That is why he agreed to cancel Harry Hacker's political asylum and let pigs enter our embassy to arrest him. ¿Será que nos pueden dar nuestro crédito el FMI ahora, por favor?
Hello, I'm from the Australian government. Since Mr. Assange is our citizen, we feel compelled to state in the strongest possible terms that we're America's too. That's why both of these bung stains will leave him up creek without a paddle. After all, we're the same dickholes who are prosecuting whistleblowers and banning encryption to make it harder for journalists to expose our Hello, I'm from the US government. We're grateful to all our for handing over Julian Assange, who is wanted on charges of making us look like war criminals. Which of course we are. We have indicted the accused for the crime of helping his source to anonymously access documents in the public interest, otherwise known as good journalism. Journalists, of course, are not supposed to be good. They're meant to be weak on questioning stenographers who publish what we tolerate. By extraditing a foreign journalist, we hope to send a clear warning to all journalists not to mess with our shit. We ask all of you to cooperate with us in setting this dangerous precedent by focusing on how the accused is a bit of an asshole instead of our attempt to destroy your press freedom. American Empire. Authorized by the United States of America.
Sequence starts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
everybody, welcome. It's that time again. Happy Monday. It's Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. And we are live on WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire, streaming on Comcast. Well, not streaming, but on Comcast 97, also in Manchester. But we're streaming at WMNHradio.org and, of course, on Facebook via Facebook Live on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. So sorry if I sounded a little distracted there at the beginning. I was trying to get this to open up on my computer so I can see everybody in there. And hello to Candace Johnson, who joins us in the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook live stream, live chat, whatever you want to call it, on this day. It is muggy in here. I'll tell you what, I had to open a window. It's starting to feel like summer. It's so muggy out. Or muggy in here, or just muggy everywhere. Anyway, so today is Monday, April 15th, 2019. Wonderful to have you with me. I did see someone calling while the intro to the show was playing. Feel free to call back. Oh, here they are. See, I don't even have to give the phone number. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
I don't know. Someone said get the phone number.
Oh, yeah, get the phone number.
But no, it's Scuppy.
Jeff Scuppy Lorenz. How are you, sir?
Very, very good.
Good. You sound great.
I was listening to the morning show this morning, and Easy with his, his entertainment report.
Yes, Easy G.
He plugged our gig at Panucci's for May 18th, but he forgot to do. We're playing this Friday. If you could help me out, we're playing this Friday at the Deer Head in Hooksett.
Very nice. Easy G is fired.
Fired. If he's missing the DEF CON shows, come on.
That's right. He must be.
Come on, Easy.
He must
There's
be
more than one show. I mean, we're all over the place. Jeez.
And I might have to rescind my offer to Easy G to come be the entertainment reporter on Matt Connarton Unleashed. I mean, I'm glad he's feeling better, but he's really fallen down on the job.
Oh my God, he's missing DEF CON shows. A friend of his. I'm a good friend of his. I consider him a real good friend.
How
and he missed that. I mean, this Friday coming up, he went all the way to May. Now everyone's going to say, "Oh, we don't want to go see them. We can go see them in May."
Right?
No, you got to go see this Friday at the Deer Head in Hooksett, the Deer Head Sportsman Club. Yes, come on.
You're right. In fact, not only did he fail to mention that show this Friday, but you're right. Some people are going to say, "Oh, we'll just go see them in May." So in a way, he actually sabotaged your show.
Right. Because we never even advertise until we're done one show, and then we advertise the next one.
I think Peter White should
Like,
dock his pay. He should get some demerits or something. He should have to do 20 push-ups.
Gee, 20 push-ups. Oh boy.
Do you think he can do push-ups with that giant head of his, or would he just fall right into the floor?
I bet Easy G could do 7 push-ups.
Do you think he could do 7?
I can do about 5, so that's pretty good for a fat guy with all broken. I have a broken shoulder and knee, so.
Wait, what? You have a broken shoulder and knee?
Well, I have a torn rotator and I have a, I don't know, strained meniscus.
What happened?
Like knee thing.
Is this something recent? I don't know about this.
No, remember when I was starting to exercise? I was starting to jog a little. Yep, all of a sudden my knee swelled up. They said, "Oh boy, you're putting too much pressure on that knee." Oh boy, done.
Oh.
No more exercise with Scumpy. No more exercise.
But what's with
I exercise my voice and exercise my fingers for the guitar, and that's it.
But what about the rotator cuff thing? I don't remember that.
I don't know. No, I had that last year, but I played through it.
Oh, okay.
And it's my right. And, you keep your elbow in. It really doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
I can get through it.
Oh, okay.
But with the knee with me on the other side now it's going to be tough. You play as a 6 handicap, and now I'm going to, oh, boy. You sign up for tournaments and it's handicapped, and I end up in the first flight, and there's no strokes or nothing. Oh, boy.
Wow. Well, what can you do?
I haven't joined yet anyways. The people up at Derryfield, there's a new pro. His name's Corey. I don't know his last name, but anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to say, because I've been a member there since 1974 off and on.
Wow.
I said, okay, so I'm going to go up. I'm going to say, I'm going to play. I'm not going to pay greens fees. I have the money to join, but I just want to make sure I can play one round, go home, and a day or two later, my knee's okay.
Right.
Then I'll join. If not, I'll pay you for the rounds.
There you go.
I don't think it'll be a problem. I mean, if it was Mike Ryan, of course it wouldn't be. But there's a new guy in there, but I don't think it'll be a problem.
So you have to go and negotiate this. It's too bad Donald Trump is busy being president. He's a master negotiator. He could go with you and get this done.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? He'd probably give me a free membership, maybe at one of his courses.
Probably.
Of course, I couldn't go there because I can't afford the flights. But
right. He could make your golf game great again.
Oh, yeah, right. No, my golf game was pretty good, even with the shoulder last year. It could. You know what it is? You slow down. You're not swinging as hard. You had a club and everything. Boom, nice and easy.
Yeah.
I try to bend the ball left or right. If I have to, and swinging easy. I can't bend it as much, but I'm not Tiger Woods that won the Masters.
You're not.
I'm probably the only one in the world that hated him winning the Masters.
You hated him winning the Masters. I don't know anything about golf, by the way, but I did see it show up in my news feed that Tiger Woods. Now, why did you? Why do you hate that he won?
Well, Tiger Woods, he's one of those guys now. If you think about it, okay, he was always moping. He got on steroids. His body broke down. And then he'd fake injuries when he was playing bad. Oh, I'm out. Oh, I had a surgery for a hangnail and all this. And then, come on, he had the most beautiful girl in the world, a woman at home, and he had over 101 mistresses.
101?
The guy's not a gentleman. No, that's what it said. It was like 101 or 111 or something like that.
Wow.
But anyway, You go back and they're talking about who did the most for the game. They said Tiger did everything for the game. I said no. Arnold Palmer started it. He got it on TV, and him and Jack, when they started the rivalry, him and Jack Nicklaus, it was unbelievable. People, they flocked to the place. They wanted to see these guys play.
Mm-hmm.
With the equipment, and then with the equipment they had back then, if Jack played today with the equipment they have now, from back then, if he had the equipment they have now, forget it. Jack has 18 majors. He had 21 or 22 second places in majors.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
If he had today's equipment, these guys hitting these par fives, they're hitting drives 340 yards, and they're hitting 9/9 of the green. It's a par five. It should be a par four for these guys now.
I say that all the time. I'm kidding. I've never said that. I don't know what you're talking about, actually. But doesn't Arnold Palmer? Doesn't Arnold Palmer also have a line of shirts or something? Can't you buy like an?
Oh, Arnold Palmer has everything. He has the lemonade iced tea thing. But Arnold Palmer was the first guy, like when I was a kid, and when Jack came up, I loved Jack. But anyway, it was Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer was the first one. Arnie's Army. I mean, it was all like in the newspaper, and it wasn't. They started putting it on TV, and then when Jack came along, it was always on TV. It was such a rivalry. They were such great players, and you know what? They were gentlemen their whole life. Their whole life, they were gentlemen until the day Arnold Palmer died. A gentleman, he'd spend all the time in the world to sign every autograph he could. Jack, same way. And
yeah. So neither
they
of
loved
them.
Their wife, they loved their family. They weren't like Tiger, being all pompous and faking injuries and then doing steroids and then my body's broken. I don't know. I liked Tiger when he started. I said, oh, this kid's a phenomenal. He's a little skinny kid.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden he got all bulked up. He was all on steroids and.
That's probably what made his ears so big.
And I don't know.
But,
I just don't like Tiger Woods anymore.
But back in the day, though, like Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus, like, did they ever, let's say, I'm trying to get in, let's say I'm mildly interested in golf and I want to try to get into it. I'm looking for something to draw me in. Like, did they ever? You said they were gentlemen, so they never hit each other with steel chairs or anything like that, or suplexed each other.
No, they respected each other. They loved each other. It's like when Tiger started getting bad, and he had all those problems with the wife, and
yes,
and then
Elon, I believe is her name.
All of a sudden, he got wicked huge, like Barry Bonds. He ended up like a Barry Bonds head. And he was his body started breaking down. He started getting older.
Doesn't Barry Bonds? Barry Bonds. Now I don't know anything about baseball either, but isn't Barry Bonds the guy who, because he took steroids, his head, like his cranium, literally got bigger? Like he's got like an Easy G Eric Gagnon size head now.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Kind of like a South Park character with the giant head. Am I thinking of the right guy? Is that Barry Bonds?
But Barry Bonds won 3 MVPs before he did steroids, and he was hitting 35 home runs a year. The only reason he did that is because when Sammy Sosa and who was it, Mark McGwire started doing steroids, hitting 70 home runs a year. He goes, I can do that. Give me that stuff.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
He couldn't get him out. They walked him 280 times or something, and he still hit like 75 home runs 1 year or something. It's crazy.
By the way, Candace.
But he didn't need that to be a Hall of Famer. He would have been he won't be a Hall of Famer now. Has the most home runs in the world, but he won't be a Hall of Famer only because of the steroid era.
Well, I mean, even if he went to the Hall of Fame ceremony, he probably couldn't fit in the room with his giant steroid head. Candace Johnson. Candace says in the Facebook live chat, Tiger's ex-wife is my hero. So she's a fan of Elon. Is that her name?
Yeah, Elon. And you know what she did? She actually tore the house they had after the divorce. He had to give him. It gave her like $500 million, but she tore the whole house down. It was like a $20 million home. Tore it all down and built her own. She says, I don't want anything to do with Tiger anymore. I'm building my own home on the same property. It's another $12 million home, but
can't blame him. I mean, because some of these women too. I remember it came out like some of these women that Tiger was fooling around with. Like, wasn't one of them a waitress at Fuddruckers or something? It's kind of like, what are you doing, dude?
Oh, it's crazy too. Because one of the girls came forward and said, "Oh, I just asked him. I just needed $1,000, because she was having a hard time." Nope. Really? Come on, the guy's a billionaire at the time.
Right.
He lost all his sponsorships. He's not a gentleman. He's not the Jack and the Arnold Palmer that made golf great. And he hasn't won. It's the second tournament he's won. It's the first major in 12 years, but the second tournament, in 10 years. And everyone, they're like sheep. They follow to him. They're like, oh, big, oh yeah, we were for Tiger. The other thing like that is Mike Tyson. Remember Mike Tyson, right?
Of course.
The guy, yeah, he was the best boxer in the world, right?
Right.
So he gets convicted, and he's convicted. I mean, it means he did it, right? He's convicted of raping a teenage girl.
There's a lot of
questions. Jail for 3 years.
I know there's a lot of questions about it, but
he starts boxing again, and then he bites. I mean, he's biting ears off of people. And still today, everyone still loves Mike Tyson. Oh, I want to talk to Mike. Oh, yeah, he's the best. He's the best. No, he isn't. He's an asshole. Oh, I'm sorry. It just drives me crazy, and it's like, I don't know. It's like the media runs the whole thing, and the media.
Well,
even Tiger, the last 10 years when he wasn't winning anything, he'd shoot 6 over. They'd show his round instead of the guy winning the tournament. It's like, what are you showing him for? He's beating it. He hasn't won anything in 10 years. And, what's Tiger? What's Tiger? It's like, might as well watch him taking a bath instead of the tournament. You know what I mean? When he wasn't playing.
Here's the thing, though, Scumpy. And, again, keep in mind, I don't know anything about sports. So I'm just looking at it, through the lens of, how someone views celebrities in general. Americans love a redemption story, and they love a comeback story. And I think that's certainly what happened with Tyson, and maybe to some extent with Tiger Woods as well.
Yeah, but Tyson never came back, though. He never, he'd been an year off and he was done.
No. But I just mean in terms of
showtime. But Tiger, yeah, they love that because
No, but
went through all that crap.
But I mean with Tyson, though, in the broader sense. I don't mean coming back in boxing, but I just mean in terms of public persona. Americans love a redemption story, which I think actually is positive to an extent. I mean, on the negative side, we love to watch them fall, but on the positive side, we also love to watch people get back up. And to some people, that's inspiring. And I say that in no way to defend anything that Tyson did or that Tiger Woods has done or anything like that. It's merely an observation of just how people kind of react to this stuff and how they sort of perceive this in their own minds. Rehabilitation, that's the word I was looking for. These celebrities kind of rehabilitate themselves in the minds and in the perception of the public, I think.
No, you can forgive and forget, but
yes.
I don't know. It's just Jack still has 18 majors. Tiger has he has 15 now. He still needs 3 more. But I don't know. Being a gentleman and with the equipment they had, and Arnold Palmer and that stuff, it's just crazy. I don't know why everyone loves Tiger Woods coming back for all the stuff he went through. They love him. They love him. They love him. I think the whole world's like, the whole country's like, they're like sheep. It's what the media tells you. You gotta watch Tiger. You gotta watch Tiger. You gotta watch Tiger. Oh, Tiger. No, Tiger sucks. He's an asshole, and that's all there is to it.
All right. Actually, Scumpy, hang on, because there's, let's see. Tony Petrillo in the Facebook live chat says, the crazy thing is...
Hey, I saw Tony.
You what?
I saw Tony.
Oh, you saw Tony?
He's a great guy. I saw Tony. I met him down at the Davion show.
Oh, very nice.
He was a great guy.
Very nice, yeah. He says, the crazy thing is a lot of the girls Tiger slept with look just like his ex-wife. That's interesting. Maybe he felt like it wasn't cheating. Michael Albert says, does Tiger Woods strike anyone as the smooth operator type? Smooth operator.
Yeah, right.
Do you cover that in DEF CON? You cover Smooth Operator by Sade?
Listen, no, Tiger too. Every single one of those girls was a white woman. Every single one of them.
Right.
Why is that?
He likes the white girls.
It's almost like that thing. Where's all the white women at?
Right. Yeah. Well,
that's Tiger. Oh, yeah.
Candace says, I haven't...
Over 100 of them. So over 100, and he had this beautiful girl at home and beautiful kids. And
Candace...
over 100 people came up. What a piece of crap.
Candace says, I haven't liked Tyson since he bit Evander Holyfield's ear.
Yeah, me either. Oh, yeah.
Michael Albert
Well,
says...
raping the teenager was even worse, but biting his ears after that was even worse.
This is an interesting observation from Michael Albert. He says the difference between Tiger and Tyson is that Tiger comes off as arrogant and Tyson is always kind of self-effacing. That's true. That is true about Tyson. Got to give him that. You know, it is. It
is true, yeah.
He plays himself like he was in that. What's that movie that everyone loves that I personally thought was a little bit overrated, that comedy? This was like 10 years ago.
The Hangover, where the guy had his tattoo on his face.
The Hangover, yeah. Stefan Philbrook says, know what the show needs today is some air horn, and it needs the Mexican menu guy talking while Scumpy's talking. While stalking are the girl that says you're running out of time. I'm not sure what any of that means. I think Stefan might be using voice to text because I can't quite.
Stefan must love Tiger Woods then.
Maybe he does.
That's all. I love Stefan. He loves music, and we're doing a lot of originals, and maybe we can do the big show in June. But
Michael Albert says there's also a sympathetic side to Tyson. In how he was manipulated by Don King. That's another great observation. I think that's true because people have a generally negative perception of Don King.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that because Muhammad Ali, Don King, he knew. Forget it. You're out of here. Screw you. You're out of here. And Don King, he tried to move. He tried to make all the money. And you know the biggest fight, like of all time, is Sugar Ray Leonard against Marvin Hagler. Right, it was a close fight. Hagler had the title, and you have to really beat someone big time to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
And Sugar Ray, a bunch of little flurries at the end of the thing. It was like mosquito bites for Hagler. Okay, and they gave it to Sugar Ray Leonard. They gave the fight to Sugar Ray Leonard because they wanted the rematch because it was going to make so much money. And you know what Marvin Hagler said?
What?
Oh, screw you. I'm not fighting him. He didn't beat me yet.
Oh.
I'm done. I'm retired. And you know what? He's not making the money. And Don King, you aren't either. Screw you.
Take that, Don King.
He did it, and it was great because I watched that fight, and it was huge back then. But
Candace says, rumors are that Tiger claims to be a sex addict. Oh, my goodness. Well,
no doubt.
Maybe he just likes to keep a healthy prostate. Michael Albert says sex addict is an excuse. Anyone who is not asexual or likes sex is a sex addict. I've heard Bill Maher say that. There's really no such thing as a sex addict. Stefan says, can Scumpy talk over you more? Oh, no, Scumpy's doing fine. He's not like that Easy G Eric Gagnon who talks over everybody. And did you hear, Scumpy, were you listening the other day? Eric Gagnon called in, and Virtual Dave Ridley spent the entire time talking over Eric. Can you believe that?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know, but this Tiger Woods thing where all these people were rooting for Tiger Woods so bad, I just think it's wrong. Why? I just don't understand it. I don't understand when you have a bad man. Well, I mean, he did a lot for golf when he was young. I loved him when he came up. I was rooting for him huge. It was great.
Yeah.
And then he became pompous. He became the sex addict, all that. Had a great family. Screwed that up. Screwed everything up. And then he fake injuries. Oh, my wrist hurts. Oh, I quit.
But how do you? I'm curious.
The wrist and knee. There was all this stuff. Elbow. It was all of it. Not the back stuff where he took 2 years off. I think it was all steroids.
I'm curious though, Scumpy. I'm curious, and again, keep in mind, I know nothing about golf. Why do you say that?
Great golfer. He's just not a gentleman. He should not represent the game, and people shouldn't. Yeah, they shouldn't praise this guy.
No, but
he's not a nice man.
Here's what I'm curious about.
Man.
Here's what I'm curious about, though. Why do you say he faked injuries? Like, is that proven, or is that your theory, or because I haven't heard this?
Well, I just say it like myself. Torn rotator last year, right?
Right.
Started as a 9 handicap, came down to a 6 with a torn rotator. Bad knee, bad back, bang, bang. I bought an inversion table to help my back, and I play in pain every time I go out. I play in pain.
Yeah.
I shot 2 under pars and 2 even pars last year, and I play in so much pain it's unbelievable. And I don't care. You get over it. This guy, he'd be at the British Open. I hit a root. My wrist is hurt. He'd quit quit. Bye. I'm going home. The car would pick him up. Oh, I'm leaving. He did that like 4 times. And it's because of the steroids, is breaking his, I don't know. I just can't get over it.
Who
Why
would win?
everyone, like all the sheep and all the little people think Tiger Woods. Yeah, he did a lot for golf when he came up. Yeah, he was great, but geez, he's such a pompous little. I don't know.
Who
little
would win?
sissy-
Scumpy, let's get to the meat of the matter, as they say, the heart of the matter. This is a really important question. Who would win in a fight between Mike Tyson and Tiger Woods if this would be the equalizer? Before you say anything, hear me out. If Tiger were allowed to use a golf club as a weapon.
Mike Tyson.
All right, I agree with you. Now, I want to know why you say that, and then I'll tell you why I think Tyson would still win.
Because he's crazy mental. You can't hurt him. You can hit him in the head with a driver.
Sure.
And he's still going to go, oh, that's all you got? And forget Tiger, his little, oh, forget it.
I think you're right, but
He's crazy. He's crazy. He's mental. He should be locked up.
Well, here's what I think, too, and I agree with you. I also think Tyson would have the edge because Tiger has those great big ears that stick out. So I think Tyson would just know while Tiger's swinging that golf club trying to hit Tyson would be bobbing and weaving.
He'd block it. He'd
get right in there and he'd sink those chompers right into one of those ears, and it would be over. It would be over. But that wouldn't be a fake injury.
He'd block it like a punch. He'd block it like a punch. The golf club would break, and he'd hit him once, and it'd be over.
That's right.
It'd be like that quick. It'd probably be, I think, a second and a half.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe half a second. I mean, it would be. You almost wouldn't even see it. The next thing you would see is you'd see Tiger on the ground, getting blood all over that nice green grass that they use where they golf. And just be a pool of red, which you'd probably be happy to see because you hate Tiger so much. I mean, I hope you wouldn't be happy to see that.
I don't hate anyone that bad.
Oh, okay, all right. You just deeply dislike him.
You know what? I'll tell you what though. I'll play Tiger Woods golf.
Oh,
I'll play him anywhere.
Okay.
If he gives me a shot a hole, give me a shot a hole. That's 18 shots. So right, my average is like 74, 75, 76. Right.
What does that mean? You mean like shots, like alcohol?
54 to beat me. I want 18 shots.
Oh.
Shot a hole.
Okay. I have no idea what that means, but I don't know anything about golf.
I can beat him. Give me 18 shots.
You can beat him if okay. So it's kind of like
me a shot at wall. Say the par's 70.
Right.
Right.
I don't know what that.
I get 18 shots.
Yeah.
So I shoot a 52 because of the shots.
Yeah.
He's never going to beat a 52. No way.
So you believe? So Scumpy, I want to get you on record. So you're saying if you played Tiger Woods and he let you have a big advantage, you could beat him. You could beat him.
Absolutely.
Okay. All you need is for him to give you a huge advantage in the game, and you'd win.
18 shots off my total score. I want 18 shots off my total score.
Okay.
And that's it. You give me 18 shots off my total score. I shoot a 74, or say I shoot 76. Take 18 from there, right? What's he going to shoot? 54,
I'm
56?
Really bad at math. I don't know.
He's not shooting in the 50s anywhere.
There you go. Right. Michael Albert says, no ear biting on the putting green. What would you do, Scumpy, if let's say this scenario, you're with Tiger Woods, he agrees to play you, he gives you this big advantage, and you're still losing. What would you do then? Would you go for the ear? Would you go for the ear to get an additional competitive addentage?
I wouldn't need to. It's not going to happen if he gives you that.
That's what you got to prepare for any eventuality. I mean, maybe you sick a caddy on him. Say, hey, go for that.
Hey, you know what? I got it down. I'll use Mike Tyson as my caddy.
Perfect.
Mike Tyson will be my caddy, and then I don't have to worry about anything.
So you're playing, and then Tyson just gets up and starts moving toward Tiger. Tiger goes to swing. He goes to putt. You call it putting, right? And he pees himself when he sees Tyson coming at him. How embarrassing would that be? And he would deserve every bit of the humiliation he got for peeing himself because of the way he humiliated Elon. Is it Elon, or am I thinking of Elon Musk? Not the same guy. Like Elon didn't transition into Elon Musk, right? Different people.
I gotta go, Matt, but I'm telling you that it's just the pompous. He wins the Masters. I don't know why everybody is like Oh, everyone! There's so many people rooting for him to win, and he's just a pompous piece of crap.
It's interesting.
It's unbelievable.
It's interesting you said that you got to go right after I was talking about Tiger peeing himself. Did thinking about that make you have to pee?
Yeah, because it's raining now, and my hand's in the warm water.
Oh, right.
No, I'm only kidding.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm only kidding.
Well.
No, I'm out in the car. I'm out in the car. I have to go in.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna put on channel 97.
Very good.
And
very
I'm
good.
Watch the rest of the show.
Well, that's
and
wonderful.
I might call again. I don't know, but
yes.
Pretty interested.
And if Easy G calls in, I will be sure to chastise him appropriately for sabotaging your show.
Yeah, make sure. And tomorrow on the morning show, I'm going to show up. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Ooh.
I'm showing up for a birthday show tomorrow, and make sure everyone knows about the deer head on Friday night.
Peter White is in the Facebook live chat. I hope he has something special planned for your birthday.
Well, I hope so.
Maybe
anyway,
that's why these
I don't
balloons
care.
are there's balloons here.
Just plug the deer head show, and that's good. And then we'll do the Panucci's after that.
Peter's saying don't come by, we're full. I'm sure he's kidding. I've also heard him say that.
I'm sure.
I've also heard him say that to Ryan Gorman, and we know that's not true. Anyway.
Of course. I know Peter. Of course.
Oh, I know.
I love you too, Peter. I love you too, Peter.
Yes. Platonically as men in a heterosexual way.
Right.
We just want to clarify that. Yes. Not that
I love you, Matt, too, you know?
I'm not
going to make out with you.
I appreciate that, Scumpy, and same back on all counts.
Hey, if you can, though, help me out. Plug the deer head for DEF CON Friday night.
Friday night?
All week, it'd be great.
The deer head is in Deerfield?
8 o'clock. The deer head in Hooksett.
Oh, it's in Hooksett. Where did I get Deerfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right behind the Kmart.
Do they have an actual? Do they have an actual deer head mounted above the door?
Well, no, there's deer heads in there. Oh, geez, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in there. But anyway.
Oh, they should call it deer heads.
The deer head. The Deer Head Sportsman's Club. That's what it's called.
Oh, very nice.
I don't have the address right on my hand. I tell you, but I don't have it here. But
that's all right. I'm
you
sure.
You can go on Facebook and you can become a fan of DEF CON.
Yes.
And you'll see all the posts. Very nice.
Very nice. Well, Scumpy, thank you. Oh, Scumpy, are you gone? I heard a click. I think Scumpy's gone. I was about to thank Scumpy because I feel like I learned a lot today about Tiger Woods and golf and everything. So I'm going to back up here because we definitely missed some of these. And Peter has me laughing. Peter White from the morning show with Peter White. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the thread, though, because there was a lot of, it was hard to get to everybody. All right, so Candace Johnson is in there. We said hello to Candace. Stephen Philbrook, of course, in the Facebook live chat. Jenny is in there. Tony Petrello is in there. Hello, Tony. Let's see. Bill Muckler is in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Bill. He says, hi, Matt. Dave Kopaz from Red Pill Politics is in there. Let's see. We already have another call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this? Turn down your radio. Hello?
Hello, Matt. It's Mike. How are you?
I was starting to think somebody pocket dialed us. Mike who? Mike's a common name.
Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn Mike. How are you, sir? You sound different for some reason.
How are you?
Good. Oh, you know what it is?
Okay.
I'm not used to hearing from you this early in the show. It threw me off. I just assumed you were a different Mike.
It's my night off tonight.
Oh, wonderful. You should come in sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yes.
Thank you. I will do that some Monday.
Yeah.
So I had just a couple of things. First of all, I won't keep you on the phone over a half hour. I mean, on the phone for over a half hour, number one.
Yes. That's all right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
I'm just saying.
Like I said, I feel like I learned a lot.
First off, I know you always say that you invite anybody to call in with anything, any kind of subject, right? You're always open to anything.
Yes. Well, with some limitations, but yes.
You're right. I have to beg you to not allow one particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
Sports. Please, no sports on this show.
Right. Well,
That's all.
I must tell you, though, see, Scumpy, that conversation, I mean, I just called you Scumpy. I'm sorry. It's because I'm used to talking to Scumpy because he was on so long. The thing is, Brooklyn Mike, I agree with you because I'm not a sports guy. I don't like talking about sports earlier. But I felt that the conversation that I was having with Scumpy kind of transcended sports because it was also about, these, like I said, because I actually am genuinely fascinated by, when people, when celebrities, they become embroiled in scandal. And then, everybody loves a redemption story. We love to see them fall, but we also love to see them get back up and rise up and so forth. And plus, too, I mean, you don't have to admit, but I think the idea of just the visual image of Scumpy telling Mike Tyson to bite off Tiger Woods' ear during a game of golf where Scumpy is given a huge advantage, in which case he'd be victorious. I mean, I just think that's a fascinating thing to imagine happening right now in some alternate universe.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was worth the price of admission, waiting for that payoff.
Thank you. Yes.
Also, being that you mentioned that, I think we need a new nickname for Scumpy.
Oh.
It would be I just had it. Mr. Confidence. There we go.
Mr. Confidence. He is very confident that if given an enormous advantage, he could defeat Tiger Woods. He has that confidence that we love.
Again, I don't know. I'm like you. I'm not a sports guy. I mean, music is my thing, and
right.
But it even sounds like it wasn't even that big of an advantage, the way he was explaining it.
I couldn't tell. I know nothing about golf. I just started hearing all these numbers and something about par or parfait or something. I don't know anything about this stuff. I just imagine poor Tiger Woods on the putting green bleeding to death. Jenny is here, by the way.
Yeah.
It's really weird to be the only woman in the room, and I'm the one that's a sports person.
Yeah,
and not you guys.
Well, it's not that unusual. Hi, Jenny. How are you? I didn't know you were there.
I know. I just kind of slid in.
She just arrived.
Sideline there. Yeah. Actually, I got dropped off. There was this really cool alien ship that just came up and took me for a big ride. We took a big thing around, Niagara, and just dropped off here.
Nice. And the other thing, if I may, Matt, and then I'll let you go, because I said I don't want to keep you too long, is, it was kind of funny, Scumpy, again, not to pick on Scumpy, it's just an observation.
Yes.
The way he was different ways he was describing Tiger Woods being a pompous jerk and a womanizer, having a beautiful family, beautiful children, beautiful wife.
Yes.
Doing all these, things that are pretty much, immoral and unethical. Boy, does that sound like somebody else I could think of.
Oh, my goodness. I hope you're not. Is that a veiled reference to our president, Donald John Trump?
It may be.
Oh.
But, we wouldn't want to put that man in that kind of light and describe him in those negative ways. But Tiger Woods will describe him in those ways because, he did the same exact thing pretty much. Maybe to a different degree, but the same types of things. But we won't talk about the man in the White House that way.
Well, I gotta say this though, Brooklyn Mike. I don't remember hearing about Tiger Woods with any porn stars. I think he was more of a waitress, bartender, female bartender type of guy. That's my impression.
Yeah, and if he did grab a woman by the hoo-ha, he paid for it. He didn't just do it.
Right.
He just didn't walk up to them and do it because he's so rich.
Wait. How do you know that? I mean, with the guy's history and everything, it sounds like he's an absolute leech. He sounds like a cretin
which
that
guy
walks.
Are we talking about?
Tiger Woods. He sounds like a cretin.
Well, to hear Scumpy tell it.
I agree with you, Jenny. It's just, some people have, will feel a certain way about a certain person, but then another person who's done the same thing, they'll put them up on a pedestal, and they could do no wrong.
Ooh, you know what?
Wait.
Here's my thing about Tiger Woods. Bottom line, the dude, he messed up. He did a lot of things wrong in his life, but I got to give the guy some credit for coming back and doing this. I mean, most people would want to hide under a rock under that kind of negative publicity, but he actually pushed himself to come back and then win. You got to give some credit there,
Yeah,
and are we gonna keep hitting him for the rest of his life?
Well, if you're Scumpy,
No,
you
I
do.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%, Jenny.
I have to defend Scumpy a little bit though on one thing, because I often give Scumpy credit for something, even though he likes Trump and he's a Trump supporter. He's probably the most critical of Trump supporter that I've ever met, and he does call him out on a lot of his nonsense. So to be fair
I agree with you also.
To be fair to Scumpy, I mean, he likes Trump, but I don't know if he really puts him on a pedestal. I think he most Trump supporters do. They think the guy walks on water and, I guess raw dogging a porn star while his wife was at home with their newborn baby is perfectly fine and somehow makes him a better Christian in the long run, I guess, even though he's on record.
I don't think I'm ever going to understand Christianity.
Yeah, even though he's on record as saying that he's never asked God for forgiveness or anything, and that doesn't even enter into the equation, which I thought was part of the deal, but apparently everyone's kind of decided, nah, Trump gets a pass on absolutely everything.
No, wait, what if he's one of those once in grace, always in grace guys? Like you get saved and then that's it. No matter what you do for the rest of your life, you're good.
I guess so. That's probably what it is. Yes, maybe that's a Presbyterian thing. I don't know. But yeah,
total absolution. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, listen. I'll let you guys go and have your show, and let's keep the people of Paris and the whole world really in our thoughts with Notre Dame. That's really a tragedy.
That is, yes, absolutely.
Absolute travesty.
Yeah.
All right, Brooklyn
Absolute
Mike.
travesty.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the call,
All right,
my
guys,
friend.
listen. You're welcome. If I don't speak to you, happy Easter, Jenny. Happy Passover. Stay well.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Brooklyn Mike. Take
You're
care.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we got to get caught up on lots of fun stuff going on in the Facebook live chat. Oh, and Brooklyn Mike here. You get an air horn, my friend. Because usually when we hear from Brooklyn Mike, it's toward the end of the show when he's getting ready to head into work. So, but I hope he comes in and plays sometime. So let's see. Kind of trying to catch some of these because there was a lot of stuff. Let's see. Stefan asked for some air horn. Oh, so Stefan's comment earlier, somebody clarified that. Sorry, everybody. I don't mean to hold up here. I'm scrolling down. I just want to make sure I get these because some of these were making me laugh as I was seeing them, but I just didn't get a chance to read them. So, Jenny, you said, what the hell? That's like saying they are all blondes. So what? Oh, that's in response to, was it Scumpy who said, they were all white girls?
Yeah. So, I mean, what is that comment all about? What is that racist comment all about? I'm sorry. I'm going to call it what it is.
Well,
it is a racist comment.
It was an observation he was making.
It's a racist comment.
Yeah.
If when we talk about Gene Simmons and how many women he's been in with, do we specify their race, whether or not do we know were the majority of them white or black or Caucasian or yellow or green or purple or blue?
Well, Gene likes all the ladies.
Well, you would know that. That's true.
Well, Gene is on record as saying, Al, anything that moves, and if it doesn't move, we'll work something out. He actually said that once.
But no, seriously, why is it that here we're in the 21st century and we still have to make commentary over whether, he's dating a black girl. Oh, yeah, he's dating a white girl. You notice they're all white girls? That is so racist. I'm sorry.
I did find
I love him. He's a great guy, but I'm sorry. It's racist.
I don't think he had any racial intent with it, but I did think it was an odd observation to make. So Stefan says, OMG, less caffeine, Scumpy. I don't know if caffeine is the issue. Michael Albert says, Stefan is talking about the sound bites that Peter White uses, because I wasn't sure what Stefan was referring to with his earlier comment when I said I think Stefan's using voice to text. Peter White in the Facebook live chat referring to Scumpy said, OMG, shut up, and wasted. Well, Scumpy did indicate.
Who was wasted? Peter's wasted?
No, Scumpy.
Oh, I wasn't sure who's wasted.
I think he's saying that
is he getting ready for his vacation or something
Scumpy was
early?
Imbibing.
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either.
That way.
No, I've heard. I mean, he's
maybe
called
Peter
in.
is, and so it sounded like that to him.
Maybe I don't know. I mean,
we
Scumpy,
don't know what's going on with those two. We don't know.
Scumpy has called sounding inebriated, but not this time. Let's see.
That's not cool.
You said, you said not cool to talk about pain. You have no clue.
I really hate it when I hear, and I'm going to say it's a hate. It's not a dislike. It's a hate. I hate it when people compare themselves to others or compare other things to other people. You know, I mean, I've had it happen to me, and so many people have. Oh, so and so has it worse, or gee, I have this wrong with me, but I'm not as bad at you, so I'm lucky. But what he did was the other side of the coin, which is, well, I can do that in pain, so why can't you? Really, buddy? Really? You really know everything there is to know about worldwide pain? Do you even know what the McGill pain scale is or how it's used in medicine? If you don't understand it, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't judge somebody else like that. It's freaking cold. It's rude and it's wrong. And if there's something wrong with the person you're talking about and you're actually picking on them for something that's wrong with them, that's a pretty, can I say, shitty thing to do?
No, and I have to hit the dump button on that. You cannot use the S word on the air.
Oh,
No.
I thought I could.
No.
Oops. I don't know why.
I don't either.
Wait, was that an MCI moment? I'm going to start calling them MCI moments now.
I don't get it.
Well, my brain doesn't quite go there the right way.
Okay.
Doesn't elevate it and go all the way up there, and forgot about the...
What's MCI mean? I don't know.
You don't remember mild cognitive? And
Oh, okay.
people in medicine like to use acronyms. It makes life easier.
Yeah. So Candace said Tyson. She voted for Tyson in my imaginary fantasy altercation between Tyson and Tiger Woods. Rhonda joins us in the Facebook live chat. Rhonda Ostrowitz-Favero. She says, hi from California. Michael Albert says, chomp, referring to Tyson biting an ear. At least I assume that's what he's referring to.
Did he swallow
chomping.
it? Do you remember? Did he swallow it when that happened?
Oh, no. You never swallow a man's ear. You just
I
spit,
wasn't sure
you
if he just
spit it out.
bit it and spit it, or if he...
I think
you
he
know.
bit it. He bit off a chunk of Evander's ear
bit
and
it
then
and
spit
spit
it
it.
right in his face.
Ugh.
No, I'm kidding about that last. I don't think he spit it in his face, but I don't know what happened to it after he... I've never bit a man's ear. I don't know what you do, actually. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, no. You haven't...
Yeah.
I don't know that you've bitten anything
I've
on me.
never had a...
You've never really been a biter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candace says he better tape his ears back, LOL, referring to Tiger Woods. He does have giant ears. He's like Dumbo or something. Michael Albert says no ear biting on the putting green. So Peter White says, wow. So this is where I started laughing. Peter White says, we'll play a game. How many beers has Scumpy had? I say 6, maybe. Ew. Yikes.
Ouch.
Candace says Tiger's ex probably got half of winnings, $750 million and growing. Peter said, out of beer. No, don't come by. We're full, referring to tomorrow. We're all
I am
set.
so going to set my alarm for tomorrow morning's morning show with Peter White, because I gotta see this.
I'm sure.
I gotta hear what's gonna go on. I gotta know.
Then Peter said, nope, not kidding. No, I'm locking the door. I can't tell if Peter's kidding or not.
I don't know either. He would too. He would lock the door.
Well, easy enough to do. Bobby B. Bob Burrell joins us in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Bob. Michael Albert says, could be talking about Robert Kraft, too, referring to videos of things. Peter White says, hello, Brooklyn, referring to Brooklyn Mike. Fred Bonick from the Daily Ripple joins us. Peter White says, yeah, Scumpy is a real genius. I think he's being sarcastic there, or maybe not. He might be. He might genuinely think Scumpy might be a genius, and we just don't know. I don't know.
Peter was 6 and you never know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Rhonda says good for Scumpy. So Rhonda agrees with Scumpy, although I'm not sure on what. Let's see. Fred posted a link to something in the Facebook live chat. We'll let that load, and we'll come back to it. Fred says, good point, Jenny. I'm not sure what Fred's referring to, but I think it might have been about the race thing.
Yes, it was.
Angela Philbrook says everybody's pain is equally painful, or it might have been about that.
No, it wasn't.
Stefan says, preach, Jenny. Woohoo, air horn. Oh, we have a request for, we'll give the... There you go.
Thank you very much.
Michael Albert says he spat it out. The doctors could have reattached it, but Hollyfield refused. Well, I'd like to think that I would refuse too. I would have been like...
You can clean it.
It just seems like, but a boxer, a fighter.
30-second rule, man.
Is a guy.
It's a 30-second rule. You can put it back.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know. I think, Hollyfield obviously wanted to finish the match. Well, I remember vividly when all that happened. That was crazy. Stefan says, Jenny, get back on that soapbox. Don't let that S-bomb get you off the rails.
Oh,
Fred says,
thank you. Sorry, guys.
Fred says, you ever nibbled on an ear mat? Well, certainly not. Actually, I've never told this story, but I did once meet Evander Holyfield at an autograph signing, and I did ask him if I could nibble on his ear, and he punched me. Michael Albert says, I was referring to powerful, rich men with attractive, significant others who screw around anyway when I said Robert Kraft. Ah, yes. And Fred says, Jenny's right about the race remark. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, and I think we're all caught up. So, my goodness. Well, boy.
Well, I know what she's referring to. She's referring to talking about the issues that are facing every American right now who has the unfortunate nature of suffering from a chronic illness or having a pain issue, because we've got too many people out there in their legislative clothing making law that is killing people every single day, because they have stepped in and taken medications away from their patients and not let doctors take care of the patients the way they want to, or not allow doctors to even appropriately taper in some instances. I can tell you personally, one of my support groups has seen no less than 5 suicides this month. All pain patients, all people they reached the end point of suffering.
Well, that's what Red talks about when he comes on, and how the government needlessly...
But it's taken thousands of deaths to get the FDA to actually go, wait a minute, guys. Hey, we think you misunderstood what we were saying. We were saying maybe you shouldn't prescribe it for everything, but when you're prescribing it for people who have real issues, that's okay. But see, that's okay is too late. And I said this to you, I remember on Matt Connarton Unleashed, I said this to you 2 years ago when the state of New Hampshire passed law forced tapering patients off of opioids and narcotics. And my own provider told me that they had suicides. They lost patients to suicides. And those legislators in Concord, I don't know how they look in the mirror. I don't know how they sleep at night knowing that they hit that button, they raised their voice, and they voted to kill people, and then they claim to care about life. I'm off my scope box on that one now. Sorry.
Rhonda says exactly, we are dying. Heidi Hamer joins us in the Facebook Live. The Honorable Heidi Hamer says howdy from the West Side.
The Honorable Heidi Hamer. Hello from the Honorable Jenny.
Stefan says Holyfield didn't get it sewed on. It's like a battle scar from war.
I think he didn't do it because it was in his mouth. I mean, he was like, I don't know if I really want to put that back on.
Oh, that's true.
Kind of swirling around and that saliva in there.
Yeah, it'd be like,
You never know where that mouth had been.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred's link was to a meme that says, how sad it must be believing that scientists, scholars, historians, economists, and journalists have devoted their entire lives to deceiving you, while a reality TV star with decades of fraud and exhaustively documented lying is your only beacon of truth and honesty. I like that.
I like the one that I saw where they said they were going to send all of the Trump staff to the states that all voted in favor. Just everybody go there. It was kind of a play on the whole sending immigrants to sanctuary cities. Well, we'll just take all the politicians and send them back to you.
I
don't want them. I'll take an immigrant over a politician any day. Is that terrible to say? Oh my goodness.
No, Rhonda says, I'm at an appointment. She's at an appointment right now. We'll see how it goes, she says. Well, she says Red Lawhorn is brilliant. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not sure which particular ailment. I'm not going to, speak of anybody's ailments, but a number of people are now following you. I've been contacted by people, Matt. I don't even know if you realize it. For everything that you've done, bringing Red on and talking about the issues that are facing chronic pain patients and people who have terrible diseases that have no cure. You're being a voice. And I know a lot of people in the pain communities that are suffering from some pretty seriously horrific diseases really appreciate everything that you're doing.
Oh, well, thank you. That's,
You can give yourself an ear horn.
I could, but we have to take this call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's your old pal Fred, just when you thought you were going to get a break.
Hey, Fred.
Hi, honey.
How are you? I don't know. You probably all talked already about Notre Dame, so that's probably already over.
Well, we mentioned it. Yeah, Brooklyn Mike called in and did mention that.
Yeah, it's pretty much gone.
Is it a total loss?
Yeah.
I was afraid it would be. Is it a total loss, sir? Is that what they're saying now?
Oh yeah. They're fighting the fires in the bell towers now.
Oh,
Hope that they can keep
jeez.
the bell towers from falling down.
Oh, jeez. Prayers up for the people. I mean, as a nation, I'm sure a lot of people are just devastated. I think it was like a 300 or 400 years of architecture in that building.
Oh well, it was built in 1100. 1100 from 1100 to 1200. It took 100 years to build.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
how many? A couple generations worked on building. It's an amazing.
And all the art.
And I don't. Have you heard anything? Is it true? Because I don't know if this is true or not. Is it true that there is suspicion the fire was set?
No, that's not. Well, no, they don't know. But the thing is, it started right where they were working. You know, that's the thing. You know, they were working in it. The whole place was covered with scaffolding. You know,
Yeah.
they were in there working, and like the guy from New York, the fireman that was on a little while ago that I was listening to, he was explaining how, you know, in a place like that, you know, there's so much wood that if you get a little fire going and you don't get it out right away,
It's tinderbox.
it's going to just, the whole place is old wood, you know?
Right.
So,
That makes sense.
and, you know, they could have been, you know, sweating pipes. They could have been doing anything. And just one little spark or whatever, you know, grinding something off or, you know, with a grinder, any spark.
It's a terrible
But,
shame.
you know, and the thing about terrorism, somebody would throw a bomb. They wouldn't start a fire that
Right.
got out of control. You know what I mean? It's hard to get into.
You don't know,
someplace like
though.
that to light
We,
up
we
stuff.
don't know. I mean, people have started
Right, we
fires
don't.
for less reason.
Yeah, but nobody, you know, that's of the fire bunch has thought that, only because it is so common. I mean, Johnny Cash's house burned
Well,
down.
no, the
you know,
the
because
French
somebody
government
left
did
rags
announce.
on the floor.
While the flames were
You
still
know?
being fought, the French government announced an investigation was starting right away. They
Right.
were not certain if it was work related or not, and they were going to make sure,
No.
which obviously we need to.
Yeah,
but
well, of course they will. But
jeez,
but the people that are like the people that are, you know, firemen that had experience and stuff that are the pundits, I guess, that are talking. They're like, yeah, this is not an unusual thing to happen because that's the one time when there's a lot of electrical stuff. There's all this stuff is exposed. It's not unusual. And again,
and you
let's
don't really
all
think
hope for the
about
best.
it. Was when you look at it from the outside, you see the beautiful brick, but you don't remember. You don't think, or at least I didn't. I didn't think about the fact that so much of the structure actually had wood in it.
By the way,
Yeah, all the ceiling.
Stefan in the Facebook live chat on this, he says, yeah, and our great leader was offering advice on how to fight the fire. Tomorrow he will say they should have raked the leaves inside the church to prevent this. SMH, so embarrassing. Yeah, Trump went on Twitter earlier and said they should, what did he say?
Sweep the dust
Helicopters
bunnies?
Drop it down with aerial.
Yeah, which I guess you can't do.
No.
So, yeah.
What does he think? It's like a rain shower? Oh my gosh. No, it comes down actually pretty forceful.
Well,
I
Yeah,
give up.
you know, but he has his opinion on everything. You know.
right.
The best and only opinion.
But
the bestest
thing you were
opinion.
talking about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying he always has the best opinion.
Yeah. The other thing about when you were talking about the putting the refugees and the asylum seekers in sanctuary cities, the thing that most people forget is in 2020 there's a census. So the moment you start putting people into those cities, you are now increasing their population, and these are blue places that they want to stick them. So
I'm
that
sorry,
means
Fred.
They will not only get more funding, they will get more representation, and there's a limited number of representatives. So
Oh, I see
those
what you mean.
representatives get taken from other places, other states.
Right. Yeah, I see what
So
you mean.
it's like send more people, because the more people you send there when the census is taken next year, those people will still be there. It's going to take them 2 years to do their asylum claims, or more, because they're like 100 years behind now, literally.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing is he's he's defeating his own purpose.
I
He
think
thinks he's using them to.
I just
to
wanted to
hurt
say
people,
sorry
but
because
the
I
truth
wasn't
is it's
trying to
only
say
gonna
that.
Make them more money.
I think it's all an empty threat, though. Anyway, I don't think Trump's really going to try to do that. I think he's just talking.
And just to clarify, we were in context talking about some of the silly memes that are going around. So I wasn't actually saying that to repeat.
Oh yeah, you weren't advocating for that.
I'm sorry if it came across that way.
Oh no. Well, but of course, we can always think the worst, but the likelihood is that human error is a situation like that because there's so many people there. It's not like somebody got in and was carrying a can of gasoline and poured it. There's the place is it's a secured place.
Oh, are you guys talking about the same thing? I don't think you
I
are.
I think he
Well, I was
misunderstood me
talking
when we
about-
were talking
I
about
was
the
talking
memes
about the,
earlier, and I made the comment about sanctuary, how they're saying they want the threat is that they want to take refugees and put them into sanctuaries. You know what I mean?
Right,
the
right.
Republican thing, we're going to ship everybody to here or there, and the newest joke is now saying that the threat is they're going to send us their politicians.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't send us their politicians, please.
We have enough problems
have
with
enough
our
of them.
own, especially in New Hampshire. I mean, we have
You do.
400 state reps.
You have wacky people there. You have all kinds of wacky things in your state.
We have people that
You're
get
the state
elected
that,
and then head to
believes in
Florida and they
freedom.
never show up. They just wanted the title. It's insane.
Live free and die, right? Or live free or die.
Yeah, we have some colorful characters. By the way, on the other subject, Michael Alber in the Facebook live chat says Trump should have had sprinklers installed.
Into what?
Yes.
Notre Dame?
Yeah. If he really wanted to be helpful, he should have taken the initiative and,
Do you think they have sprinklers
I
in
don't
the
think
White
he
House?
even has them in Trump Tower, but that's beside the point.
he may not.
I think there was something about that where he wouldn't retrofit his building.
Oh, you're not even kidding. Oh.
Oh no, there's
Oh, no, that's a
something
big
very
thing.
much about that.
Oh, wow.
There was a huge movement among the fire department industries to try and push for newly built apartments to be built with actually having sprinklers in every apartment and new homes to be built with sprinklers too. So I remember dealing with some of that stuff on the legality side years ago.
Well, there you go. Hey, great show. I will just let you go back to it. I just wanted to say about the census. People aren't really thinking about that, when they're thinking of punishing the Democrats by sending them
Right.
immigrants. It's like, really, you're just going to increase their population. They're going to get more representation in Congress, and they're going to get more federal funds. So
That's
I'm sure
right.
Nobody's complaining about that.
Well,
Yeah.
there's arguments against that, though. I mean, it's also going to put a lot of strain on the local community, on the medical support system, on the support systems that are there for a lot of people. If you do not, it's not like the money's coming ahead of people. The money comes long, long afterwards when there's already a backlog and a problem.
I still think it's all an empty threat anyway.
And you're still talking about major cities. I mean, cities that have, they may have their problems already, but a couple of, half of these cities, a lot of these cities like Philadelphia, and stuff, they lost a lot of their population. They moved out to the suburbs. So having more people in there, I'm not sure that it's such a bad thing because these cities are growing at a phenomenal rate already.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can absorb, even if it was 500 or 1,000 people, it's nothing, and when you look at the size of Philadelphia or the size of San Francisco.
Right.
And the problem is really the size of El Paso or the size of some small Texas city
Right.
getting a lot of people. Having them brought to, I live in an area where we have I think it's the 8th most Syrian part of the country. New Jersey, but that's where all those refugees from Syria came in the past. We had from Bosnia, we had it from all these countries. They've come to this area. Nobody even notices it.
Right, and it certainly didn't. It didn't like destroy. It didn't wreck the place, right?
The sky didn't fall?
That's good. All right, Fred. Well, thank you so much
All right,
for the call, my
have
friend.
fun. Take your break.
All right, man. We will. Thanks, Fred.
Talk to you later. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. That was Fred Bonig from the Daily Ripple. Michael Alber said in the Facebook live chat, people get elected to the New Hampshire House just to get the special license plate. Christian Cunard is in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Christian. Kevin Morrissey joins us as well as Mark Smith. So lots of folks in there. I want to do something before the break. Oh, actually, the phone's ringing again. Wow, busy day today. It's a good show. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Oh, Matt and Jenny.
Is that Easy G, Eric Gagnon? Eric, before you say anything else, I just want to apologize once again on behalf of Virtual Dave Ridley. I know that the last couple of times you've called, he's just he's been very
I'm here.
He's been very rude, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, I also want to tell you, enjoy your week off. You got any plans, Matt, for next week?
Oh, next week. Well, of course, I did produce 5 best of episodes for to run while we're all on vacation next week.
I never hear any best of.
Yes. Virtual Dave Ridley, as you can hear, is upset that he's not going to be here.
Boy.
Yeah, he's.
Are you still on about that? You got any plans for your week off on the radio show?
Well, the silver lining in as much as I hate not to be live for a week, it'll give me a chance to get caught up on a million other things that I really needed to get caught up on. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Like maybe some sleep?
Some sleep? Yeah, maybe.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, when I got 2 quick things, I ran out of time on the Peter White morning show.
Wow, you got to be more.
Amanda McCarthy is going to be playing at Patello's next Tuesday, April 23rd.
I had no idea.
Where is that?
I had no idea.
Patello's.
Oh, Fratello's. Where in Manchester?
Yeah, I dropped off some cards there on the table there. You probably see them in there. She's wearing an orange shirt.
Not really.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I do see them. Yeah. No, I do.
Yeah, there's also one more quick thing. The Board of Alderman meeting is the Board of Alderman meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Oh, those are always exciting, and by always I mean not particularly.
I will not be there though. I'm home resting.
Oh,
I usually come by and visit you on Mondays, but like I said, I'm not feeling the best. So.
Yeah, we want you to.
Usually I go to my church meeting on Mondays and Thursdays, but thankfully Thursday got canceled, and I canceled it myself because I need a rest.
I'm here.
They canceled the entire meeting because you couldn't be there?
No, I canceled. I'm not going, no.
Oh.
No one seems to be very excited.
Well, I mean, what do you usually do at those meetings?
My feet are still swelled, and my legs are still swelled, and I'm not going to
really.
get any better if I'm on my feet all day.
Right, yes.
Usually Monday I'm on my feet all day long because I go to my job site, then I go to my, what do you call that thing? Oh, yeah, I go to a Bible study, and then the van picks us up, and we go over to another meeting. So I'm usually gone all day long, and I can't do that.
Wow.
Oh, I see. Yes, I get it. All right, fine. Yes.
What are all these meetings that you're going to?
Oh, there's some prayer meetings I go to on Mondays.
Oh.
Thursdays, but this week Monday I canceled, and Thursday is canceled because it is Holy Week, Albert.
That was me knocking on the show a couple weeks ago, by the way.
Where some people spend a lot of time in church.
Right.
More
Wow.
than usual.
Yes.
All right, I'll let you guys go. I'll be listening. Have a great show. Enjoy your week off.
All right,
Bye,
Easy G. Thank you for the call. Bye-bye. All right, so that was Easy G, Eric Gagnon, and Jenny says Trump confirms illegal immigrants will be given to sanctuary cities and states. Well, we'll see. I still think I don't think they're going to follow through on that. I really don't. I think it's a bluff. I think it's an empty threat. But I'm glad that Easy G is doing better. And Virtual Dave Ridley this time was a little bit more restrained. He did chime in there a bit when Eric was talking, but not as much. And,
no, okay, I'm done. I gotta go.
All right, Virtual Dave Ridley. What's that?
I want more Ridley.
Well, he says he's got to go. I don't know, and he keeps grunting.
Like, even saying something like that, you could, if you were like a national talk show host and you said something like that, you could have your show yanked off the air, or there could be protests at your offices or something over something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he says he's going to go, and then he just starts babbling. But I have noticed that the ghost of John McCain has been very quiet today.
I'm John McCain.
He's been very reserved. We should. So I want to do this before we take a break. I know we're way past the top of the hour. You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed on WMNH 95.3. 603-250-6007 is the number to call. But according to Michelle Bachmann, my favorite political satirist, That's what I call her. A former congresswoman from the great state of Minnesota, and of course, wife of Marcus Bachmann. You know, he runs one of those clinics where they pray away the gay. She says we will never see a more godly biblical president than Trump.
What?
Yes.
In whose universe?
Well, now Michelle Bachmann knows a lot about this, so I think we should.
I'm gonna go find them aliens and tell them to take me back.
Let's give her a chance. I'm gonna play this bit of audio. This just happened earlier today. This is a little over a minute long, but let's listen to Michelle Bachmann explaining why she feels this way. And as I like to say on the show, it's kind of an unofficial rule of the show. Let's try to listen to this because I know many of you will be skeptical, as Jenny is. Let's try to listen to this with not only with open minds, but with open hearts as well. Okay, here we go. Let's hear what she has to say.
Deep state are people who have permanent jobs within the federal government, and there are millions of people. Not everyone is against our government who works for the government. Not everyone is a part of the deep state, but you don't need everyone. If you even have just 100 people who are in line with the goals to advance cultural and economic Marxism or to advance the goals of Islamic jihad, for instance, and they have jobs within the federal government, they can do very serious damage. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what the concern is. If there are people that have permanent jobs in our government who are undermining our government.
Nothing we can do but pray.
Well, we need to pray, but also this is how I pray. I pray according to the scripture, which says we need to pray to ask the Lord to expose the hidden deeds of darkness.
Yes.
And he has remarkable ways of doing this, where you can only say it's the hand of God who exposes the hidden deeds of darkness. And that's one way I would ask your listeners to pray, to please pray that God would expose these hidden deeds of darkness. And he does. Trust.
I hate to interrupt Michelle Bachmann, but I just have to, I just want to let everyone know that in high school, some friends and I actually had a death metal band called Hidden Deeds of Darkness. So the synergy is remarkable.
I feel like I need to take my headset off because I feel like I'm listening to, I don't know how to say it, hypocrisy. No, what's the word I'm looking for when you say so? When somebody says something that heresy. That's the word I'm searching for.
Heresy.
I feel like I'm listening to heresy. I want to take the headset off. It's killing me.
Michelle Bachmann, this very godly woman, is trying to explain to us how Trump is the most godly, most biblical president ever, which he clearly is. And you just you're just pooping all over her.
Kennedy didn't do nothing right. All right. No, I'm sorry.
I digress. I can't think of a more godly president than Donald John Trump.
There were a few others in there that might have done a few things, freed a few people, maybe.
This
stopped
man,
the wars, done a few other things.
This man,
ended segregation.
The way he really walks the walk and talks the talk. This president. I mean, especially like when he goes on Twitter and insults people.
You know for a fact that I will stand up and I will absolutely support President Trump in regards to what he has done with relations with Israel. I do give him a lot of credit for having the courage to say, yeah, they have a right to say where their capital is. And guess what? We don't get to pick it. And recognizing that, yes, the state of Israel does in fact recognize Jerusalem as its capital.
Well, you just proved my point. Why Michelle Bachmann is right.
I did not. No,
Michelle
I did not.
Bachmann clearly is correct.
Look, I can keep the baby and throw out the bathwater, okay? You can just because a blind dog finds a bone every once in a while, he's got to get something right once in a while. It's like shooting darts. You're eventually going to hit the board at least once.
Right.
So he's got to get something right once in a while.
Yes.
So I'm going to give him that. So I'm giving him that. I like that. I like his relations with other countries. Actually, he's really actually done a decent job in trying to talk to other people. Those talks aren't necessarily always successful, but at least he's doing a lot more. Like, what does he have, his third summit coming up with Kim Jong-un soon?
Does he? I didn't even know there was a third summit coming.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a third summit. Oh, yeah.
Well,
didn't your buddy tell you? Why didn't your buddy tell you?
Well, they are in love.
Well, you're not loved anymore.
After all.
Nobody told you, Maddie.
Very exciting.
I knew and you didn't know.
I'm glad they're having a third summit. That's wonderful.
But I think that's a good thing. Obviously, that's a good thing. We need to talk to other nations, trade with other nations, make deals with. Geez, who am I sounding like? Some guy that might have ran for president once. I don't know. Ron Paul.
I'm very happy with where we are.
Not that one.
Oh.
Ron Paul.
Right, the ghost of John McCain. John McCain ran for president, not the ghost of John McCain. He's
another person that's done things that I agree with and don't agree with.
Right, yes.
Retired now, Congressman Ron
That
Paul.
would be crazy.
I know, right? I am crazy.
Well, speaking of crazy, let's hear the rest of what Michelle Bachmann has to say.
Do I have to? Aw.
And I will say to your listeners, in my lifetime, I have never seen a more biblical president than I have seen in Donald Trump. He has so impressed me with what he's done. And we haven't even talked about Israel, what he has done to advance Israel. So he is highly biblical. And I would say to your listeners, we will, in all likelihood, never see a more godly, biblical president again in our lifetimes. So we need to be not only praying for him, we need to support him, in my opinion, in every possible way that we can.
Wow.
Well, highly biblical? Okay, can we start with the fact that you're supposed to get married once? Okay, maybe twice. If, your first one passes away or something like that happens. Was he on his fourth marriage?
A third, I think.
Third? Is it third?
Yes.
And that'd be one. There are certain rules, there are certain things that are in the Bible that have to do with family purity and dignity and respect, and none of which involves being naked in front of millions of people. None of it. Just throw that out there. None of it. That's not what you. That's not. How is it godly to be? He was.
I missed something. Trump was naked in front of millions of people.
No, he supports putting naked women out there in front of any woman he's been married. Look, I mean, God love the FLOTUS. Okay, I no sore wills there. But do I want to see FLOTUS naked? No. Do I want to see her half naked now walking around? No. I want to see dignity and poise, which we do see more of now. But you cannot say this man is a godly man and look at his life's work that is embodied with, oh my gosh, encyclopedia after encyclopedia of naked women. Period.
He published encyclopedias of naked women?
Really, Maddie? Really? I cannot have a genuine conversation with you today. I'm talking about a real thing. You're going to make a joke out of it?
Gene Simmons claims to have a photograph of every woman he's ever been with, like in a book, in a photo album.
So you have no
I'm actually not
problem
kidding about that.
whatsoever with encouraging the exploitation of women and
I do.
encouraging women to walk around half naked.
No, I do. That's why.
It would have been nice if somebody had taught me how to be a lady early in life.
That's why I'm very critical.
And
of
our
him.
young ladies need to see that, and they need to be taught. And men do, how to be dignified, how to carry themselves with dignity and poise. And you don't do that by saying how you're going to grab somebody's hoo-hoo or a JJ because you feel like it on a perfect... I mean, come on. Godly? That's godly?
40% of the country
my mind.
thinks
Where am I?
That's fine.
Am I still on Earth? Is it flat?
I am troubled that you would question Michelle Bachmann in this way.
I'm questioning her and you.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, she's what a great example she sets.
At least her and her husband have actually, stayed married, and they are who they say they are. They don't pretend to be somebody else for the most part.
I don't think Marcus Bachmann is who he says he is.
Y'all really?
Mr. Pray Away.
You think he's hiding a little something?
Have you ever seen him in an interview or heard him talk?
I have avoided it like the plague.
That guy is running away from something, and it's pretty obvious what it is with his...
So you think.
Yeah.
Are you being judgmental there, Maddie? Being a little judgmental?
If I am, I'm not judging who I think he really is. I'm judging the hypocrisy of who he presents himself as, just to be clear.
He's only been married to one woman, and I believe he's never had children with other people.
He's never had children at all. They've adopted a bunch of kids. They have a large family.
So what?
They've adopted a bunch of foster kids. They've never had any children of their own.
What does that mean?
Michelle and Marcus Bachmann. Nothing.
Really? What are you trying to say?
Not trying to say anything.
Look at the craptastic look on your face. You are horrible.
And I'm sure.
Really? So if they have some kind of serious issue going on that prevented them from being able... Do you know that I was told I could not have children approximately 2 to 4 weeks before I was miraculously pregnant with my son? I was told by the doctors that I had no hope of having children unless I could afford to have, back then, expensive and not covered by insurance, IVF or something along those lines. And hey, I guess God had a different plan for me because I have a beautiful son.
And by the way,
handsome as hell, actually.
In Marcus Bachmann's defense, because they have a large family to take care of with all these foster kids, and it's wonderful that they took these children in. And I'm sure he's able to provide for them and makes a great income with his gay conversion therapy clinic that he runs.
I want to know how many suicides are associated with that clinic. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. How many people are dead because of that absolute garbage? It's garbage.
Of course it is.
I have faith. I pray. But I sure as heck don't pray to God to ask them to take what somebody is, their very essence, and strip it out of their soul to the point where they want to no longer be on this earth. And that's all those people do.
Right. Yeah, they think they're helping, but...
helping themselves to your pocketbook, maybe.
Exactly.
To your checkbook.
Exactly.
To your donations to pay for their campaign so they can afford their fancy stuff. You know, because I'm sure that you don't hear her complaining about affording her office space anytime, you know. I mean.
Oh, Fred says, I believe Abraham had kids with more than one wife.
Actually, didn't he have kids with slaves, too? True. Jefferson did. We know that. His family tried to deny it for a long time.
Well, he means Abraham in the Bible, not Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, I was thinking presidential. Oops.
Oh, yes, yeah.
No, the Bible does talk about, does talk about things like that. Of course it does. I'm not denying that.
I am going to play that song, by the way, Fred. Fred sent me a song I'm going to play. This is pretty good, a Roy Zimmerman song.
Oh, it's a Freddie. Uh-oh.
But I do think it's funny when conservatives talk about the horror of redefining marriage, and it's like, well, if you do read your Bible, you would know marriage has already been redefined several times over.
Marriage is supposed to be something that is a spiritual union. And it's supposed to involve people and God, not the government, not you giving the government a check and asking, can I have permission, please, to love this person? Oh, gee, government, will you give me permission to let this person be on my health insurance policy that I pay for? Because you can't do any of that without government permission. Oh, isn't that special? Do you know the state of New Hampshire is one of the last states that actually adopted marriage licensing? It used to be you did just that. You went to whatever it was that you believed in or a judge and got married, and you put an announcement in the paper and you were married. That's how it worked. You didn't have to have the government's permission. You didn't have to pay any money to get the permission. Think about that.
Absolutely.
You pay the government money to get permission to get married. You want that right? Go for it.
I feel that cynicism and mistrust.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. Yeah.
Well, we're going to play a couple songs and we'll be back. You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we're live on WMNH 95.3.
But they all want marriage to be like it was in the good book. I want a marriage like they had in the Bible, they had in the Bible, they had in the Bible. I want a marriage like they had in the Bible, because the Bible tells me so. Now, Abraham and Sarah had a marriage, but she could not bear him a kid. So Sarah gave Abraham a slave girl, and pretty soon they did it, and she did, Lord, Lord. Yeah, pretty soon they did it, and they did it, and they did it, and they did it, and she did. Now I know slavery was banned, but a woman should be free to give a slave girl to her husband. I want to marry like they had in the Bible, like they had in the Bible, like they had in the Bible. Like they had in the Bible, because the Bible tells me so. Now, Othniel and Achsah had a marriage, because she was a battle prize he won. Yes, he fought to win Caleb's daughter, and he was Caleb's brother and his son-in-law. Yeah, he was Caleb's brother and his son. Now I know, it sounds like incest. Yes, it does. But a woman should be proud to be married off and princessed. I want to marry like they had in the Bible, like they had in the Bible, like they had in the Bible, baby. I want to marry like they had in the Bible, because the Bible tells me so. Now if two brothers live together and one dies, the other brother must marry his brother's widow. For this is pleasing, yes, it's pleasing in God's eyes. And if he should refuse, then she should steal his shoes and spit right in his face. It's right there in the Bible. Now Jezebel and Ahab had a marriage, and she began usurping all his power. She was wicked, of course, but he could not divorce her, so he had her thrown right off the tower, Lord, Lord, and sent the dogs her carcass to devour her. Now I know, it sounds excessive, but a woman should submit to her husband or be made a mess of. I wanna marry like they had in the Bible, cause the Bible tells me so. Now if a man should take a woman to be his, and if it turns out he thinks she's not a virgin, well then her parents have a chance to prove she is, and if they let her down, then every man in town should stone her till she's dead. It's right there in the Bible. Deuteronomy. Now Solomon and Naamah had a marriage, and they were together all their lives. Yes, she was his, and he was pretty busy, because she was one of 700 wives, Lord, Lord. Yes, Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Now I know. That's illegal. But a woman should be one of as many wives as her man can inveigle. I wanna marry like they had in the Bible, like they had in the Bible, like they had in the Bible. I wanna marry like they had in the Bible, because the Bible tells me so. I wanna like they wanna like they I wanna like they had in the Bible, because the Bible tells me so. Why? Because the Bible tells me so. Why? Because the Bible tells me so. Bible tells me so.
I'm in charge of your nation's entire education system. I have no training in this field whatsoever.
This song right here is for hypocrites. Those who live under that double standard, do as I say, not as I do. Your days are surely numbered, time's closing in, it's true. They're gonna lay you down, push the ground right in over you. I'm sure there are those who'll miss you, many who will cry. Before you go, I want you to know no tears will leave my eyes. And if you're going to heaven, brother, I don't want to go. I've had enough of you, I don't need you no more. If your sermons and actions, which never seem to gel, will get you into heaven, I'd just as soon go to hell. Hypocrite, tell me one more time the way things ought to be. I suppose you know you've told me so a time or two or three. Guess you got things covered when you make all the rules. The judgment passed on your fellow man showed me nothing but a fool. Politician, clergyman, you have audacious nerve. Taxes and collection plates enslave those you claim to serve. Our means of social order you now use to control. Enjoy your ride on your steed of pride. God damn your soul. If you're going to heaven, brother, I don't want to go. I've had enough of you, I don't need you no more. If your sermons and actions, which never seem to gel, will get you into heaven, I'd just as soon go to hell. Hypocrite, if you're going to heaven, brother, I don't want to go. I've had enough of you, I don't need you no more. If your sermons and actions, which never seem to gel, will get you into heaven, I'd just as soon go to hell.
Those Butch Robbins Ode to a Hypocrite. Fred sent me that. Thank you, Fred. Fred always sends me great stuff. And he sent me a picture of him with
He sent you a picture of himself?
Michelle, I think. With
Fred sent you a
Michelle
picture?
Bachmann.
Oh, neat.
Fred has a lot of pictures taken of himself with politicians. You had a article about WikiLeaks?
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and WikiLeaks, this is coming out of Moscow. The whistleblowing website WikiLeaks has denied speculations that it released insurance files as a way of putting pressure on those holding its founder, Julian Assange. They tweeted in a release that they are not a release, insurance dump, or response site for Assange's arrest. It is a page-published document. I'm sorry, I apologize. This is a page published documents are available for bulk download so that people can create mirrors, access publications offline, or use the raw data. It has existed for years, it tweeted on Saturday. Rumors had previously circulated that Assange's arrest by UK police earlier in the week could lead to a publication of more incriminating files. Such dumps were preceded in the past by the emergence of encrypted, quote, insurance, end quote, files, which could be opened using keys published separately. Assange was seized at the Ecuadorian embassy after its government withdrew its political assignment status. The Australian national, who has been staying in the embassy since 2012, is wanted in the United States for leaking damning Afghan war logs, but the official charges against him only reference hacking.
So Fred is skeptical. He says, out of Moscow, well, there's a credible source.
They actually went, you can look it up. WikiLeaks tweeted themselves. They're denying that they've dumped anything.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing, I don't know, have you seen them? I've seen posts on social media with links that show these immense files. I don't know what they are or aren't because I'm personally not downloading anything like that to my computer, but
right.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who's doing stuff like that.
I'm sure they're being combed through. Yeah. So we haven't mentioned this yet, but kind of looks like Thursday could be a big day, although sometimes these things end up being so anticlimactic. But the New York Times reporting today, of course, that the Mueller report will be released on Thursday, according to the Justice Department. It'll be interesting to see how redacted it is, but this posted today, Attorney General William Barr will release a redacted version of the special counsel's report on Thursday morning, a Justice Department spokeswoman said today. The first step in what promises to be a protracted fight with Democratic lawmakers over how much of the document they are allowed to see. The report will be released to both Congress and the public, the spokeswoman Carrie Kerpeck said. Mr. Barr will send the report after lawmakers from the Justice Department and the Office of the Special Counsel, Robert S. Mueller, finish blacking out secret grand jury testimony, classified information, material related to continuing investigations, and other sensitive information. Barr, who was sworn in as Attorney General in February, said in a letter to Congressional Judiciary Committee leaders last month that the report, quote, sets forth the special counsel's findings, his analysis, and the reasons for his conclusions, unquote, in his inquiry into possible links between the Trump campaign and Russia's election interference and whether Trump illegally obstructed the investigation. Barr said of the report, quote, everyone will soon be able to read it on their own, unquote. Barr and Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, set off a firestorm when they concluded that Trump had not committed an obstruction of justice offense in lieu of a determination from Mueller himself. Some prosecutors who worked for Mueller have said Barr did not accurately represent their findings after he received the report and shared its main conclusions last month. Under the special counsel rules, the Attorney General can decide whether to share the report with the public and how much of it to release. But Democrats have shown an unwillingness to rely on Barr's judgments. The House Judiciary Committee voted to authorize its chairman, Representative Gerald Nadler, Democrat of New York, to subpoena Barr to compel him to turn over an unredacted copy of the special counsel's report, as well as its underlying investigative files. Nadler said in a statement, quote, "As I have made clear, Congress requires the full and complete special counsel report without redactions, as well as access to the underlying evidence," unquote. Barr has said he will make himself available to testify before the Senate and House Judiciary Committees next month after the report is released. Representative Doug Collins of Georgia, the House Judiciary Committee's top Republican, has also asked that the committee invite Mr. Mueller to testify. Quote, "It is special counsel Mueller who is best positioned to testify regarding the underlying facts and material in which you are so interested," unquote, Collins wrote in a letter to Nadler. I think that's fine. I don't think that's unfair. But I know there was talk at one point that the White House would have the opportunity to see the report first before it was released to the public and do whatever redactions, that they wanted to do, which was, troubling to think about. But so Fred in the Facebook live chat says, there's a link there, which I can't get on this computer, but I can get on that one for some reason, but I can't click it. A link to NBCnews.com. Trump was joking about loving WikiLeaks. Sarah Sanders, I guess, claiming that Trump was joking about loving WikiLeaks. Well,
during the campaign,
he sure joked about it an awful lot,
over 100 times.
If he was joking, oh yeah. I think PolitiFact said it was.
They counted
more than 100 times.
Yeah, it was over 100. It's not even a joke. I mean, it's the truth. There's another instance where I would ask that, somebody that voted for Trump, how do you feel about that? Because when he was campaigning, he said that so many times, and you believed that when you voted for him. How do you feel now that he says, I don't even know what they are?
Yeah, he said, it's not my deal in life. It's like, okay. And we have a call. We'll grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Who do you think?
Yay!
Is this Dave Ridley or is this virtual Dave Ridley?
You sound excited.
What's up?
Oh my gosh!
What's up?
Completely taken out of context.
What's up, Dave Ridley?
Hey, did you guys know that apparently, unbeknownst to us, for the last 4 centuries of European rule, New Hampshire has been completely lacking. It hasn't had. It's managed to survive somehow for 40 years without any sort of regulations on life coaches.
Life coaches?
For shame.
Well,
oh my God!
I don't know how
But we have laws that regulate filing a nail. How can that be, Dave? How can that be?
Don't worry. Remain calm. A fix is underway. There is a bill at the State House, to make sure that there is a committee established to study the regulation and control of life coaches by the government.
I giggle, but that's sick. And for the record, for those who are listening and are not aware, I do believe, and Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, New Hampshire is the most, if not in the top 5 states in the United States that require the most licensure and certification in order to work, travel, hobby, do anything, breathe.
Yeah, it's questionable. There's not the only thing they're trying to regulate. There's also one to try and regulate people who pick mushrooms. Although in that case, it specifies that they should be making a profit off of picking the mushrooms before they hurt the people that are picking the mushrooms.
Which mushrooms?
Well, I mean, when I say hurt them, I mean,
or?
when you regulate something, you're hurting it. You're taking time out of their day. You're taking money out of their paycheck. You're forcing them to jump through hoops.
Do I think that a doctor should have to comply with certain regulations in order to take care of people? Yep. But do I think you need to have a certification or a license to be a life coach? Really? Really?
Well, they're looking into it.
Government,
the idea is that if you have more regulation,
please.
If you have more regulation, you have fewer people who are who are in a given business. Any business that gets regulated usually will have fewer people participating in that business, and so you just don't have as much competition. And so when you have someone mishandling their business, you don't have as many choices.
Wonder if anyone's bought lifecoach.gov yet.
Oh my gosh, you're genius.
Yeah, probably can't though, because it's .gov. Probably can't anyone just go and buy it.
I don't think you can get anything. .gov is not up for. But there's so many other ways now, though. You can get .info.
Yeah, I'm not sure everyone's going to get that or like it.
This is true.
Virtual Dave Ridley chiming in there. Yeah, this is an example, Dave, of,
He's
of
my
why.
voice of reason.
Last week, Mike Doyle was calling and saying, I should talk more about how productive our Congress has been. And I realize, he's not talking about the New Hampshire State Legislature. He was talking about the United States Congress. But my point to him and everybody was, politicians being quote unquote productive is not always something to celebrate. It depends on what they're doing, because very often they do a lot of stupid crap, so that when it's time for their reelection, they can say, oh, look at all the things I accomplished. And it's a form of resume building. And, this would be an example of stupid crap. Now they want to regulate life coaches here in New Hampshire. That's just,
It's the thought police.
Yeah. I'm glad they're being, quote unquote, productive with their time. But this is not being productive with their time.
You'd think maybe, I don't know, go back and undo some of the harm they've done, maybe. Like the knee-jerk reaction they had to the opioid crisis when they passed a law arbitrarily cutting people's medication in half and caused numerous suicides and deaths. Just saying, maybe a little bit more important, maybe.
Yeah, that's what happens when people don't have competition. There's sort of competition between the Republicans and the Democrats, but there's no competition for the state of New Hampshire, right? Like we don't get to pick a different state government.
That's true.
That is true. It really is.
That's why it's so bad. If there's something's wrong, something's a monopoly.
Yeah. Well.
Really, when are you going to come be live in studio?
Yeah, you've never been on the radio show with us, Dave.
I feel sad.
You could meet virtual Dave Ridley right here.
I could even play him.
If you come on Tuesday, we can have Taco Tuesday.
But I like to say that there's in a sense there's no competition, but in another sense there is, because there are at least opposition organizations, and I guess like the Americans for Prosperity is doing okay, and the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance does stuff. So you can always join a different faction. It's just that faction won't really be very well represented in the government usually.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on the on this this story with the life coaches. Anything else on your mind today, Dave Ridley?
Life
Nothing I can think of.
What's that?
Nothing I can think of.
Oh, okay.
No,
really? You're
okay,
not watching?
I'm done. I gotta go.
Oh, that was virtual Dave Ridley.
I'm surprised you're not watching the New Hampshire State Senate that's about to vote on whether or not they're going to allow cannabis patients to actually grow their own medicine or continue to allow the stranglehold of the 4 only dispensaries.
It's such a disgrace. They say that humans came into existence because they experimented with mind-altering plants. Like they were not intelligent before that, right? Supposedly, there's a theory that there was a whole civilization based on it before that. The problems at the end of the last ice age, where I think a comet hit the Earth or something. It's just so much of human history is about herbs and plants and smoking them, and that's really what made us human. And when they try to take that away from people, they're trying to make us less human.
Well, Dave, as a good God-fearing man, I believe the Earth is only a few thousand years old, and how dare you?
So however old it is, the Bible says you're supposed to take advantage of it and make use of it.
No, it's the devil's weed.
That's right.
That's right. Because everything created by God is good except that. That's the devil's creation. Don't you know that?
No, there's a lot of things that are the devil's creation, according to some folks. Like they claim that, creationists believe that dinosaur fossils were put there by Satan to confuse us into believing in evolution.
Oh, that must be something to do on. Definitely not anybody that believes in Christian on my side.
No, creationists, not Christians, but creationists and.
Well, there are people who are Jewish and Muslim that believe in creation, but they don't necessarily believe that dinosaurs were put there by Satan.
How
Jews don't
do they think they got there?
God.
What, like just more recently, like everybody coexisted, dinosaurs?
No,
because
like,
I know
we
some.
don't actually try and I do not believe in my faith that time is calculated in the way that you and I calculate time. And I do believe that everything that was created for, yeah, it was there. We had dinosaurs. Yeah, they were God's creation. Did they die off? Yep. Did a comet probably hit the Earth? Yep. Did the Ice Age happen? Yep. Do we have fossils? Absolutely. Will we have them forever until the world blows up? Because humans are going to do that. God's not going to destroy the world. We are.
Fred posted a couple of things in the Facebook live chat regarding this life coaching thing, which we're actually going to run out of show, so we won't get into this now, but they are in the Facebook live chat if you want to check them out. All right, Dave Ridley, well, please, before we run out of time, why don't you give the Ridley Report a plug?
RidleyReport.com. I ambush interviewed politicians.
Yes. All right, Dave Ridley, thank you for the call, my friend.
You're welcome, Matt.
Okay.
Engine.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
I notice Dave never says goodbye to virtual Dave Ridley. I don't know.
I think he's jelly.
I mean, he might be.
No one seems to be very excited.
Well,
I was excited. Don't I count? I don't count? Why don't I count?
Oh, sure you do. We got... we got my co-host.
I blame you.
My co-host, the ghost of John McCain,
and I'm chop liver. There you go.
On third
Here
mic,
we go again.
we have virtual Dave Ridley, and then you're here too. Like you're like the professor and Marianne.
Which one am I?
I don't know. Which one do you want to be? I always thought when I would watch Gilligan's Island when I was a kid, I always thought it was very unfair that the professor and Marianne got short shrift in the theme song. For this reason, the professor was really the most important person on the show, because without the professor, they all would have been dead by like the end of the third episode. And yet he's and the rest in the first season. And then the professor and Marianne. It's just not fair. Oh, Michael Alber in the Facebook live chat just shared an actual Trump tweet on the Notre Dame fire. Oh, what brilliant thing. Because we did refer to something. Oh, here's what. Oh, yeah, this is what we did mention this earlier. He tweeted, so horrible to watch the massive fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Perhaps flying water tankers could be used to put it out. Must act quickly.
What?
Well, we talked about that
Does
earlier.
He have
why
any
you can't
idea the power of dropping water from a helicopter?
Yeah, you can't.
There's a reason they
do
that
that
on forest fires and not house fires. If it worked if it was gonna work, hello, Gracie, don't you think? Oh my God.
Firefighter Trump. Well, I can see why he thinks he would be helpful. He did say after there was a school shooting that if he had been there, he would have walked in. He would have just run right in there and apprehended the guy. So, he likes to, he's like a superhero, really. By the way, I like that he ended the tweet with must act quickly with an exclamation point, because, probably part of what went wrong here with the Notre Dame Cathedral fire is everybody in Paris was just kind of like hanging out like, oh, the place is burning. What should we do?
The wind will blow it out.
Yeah, oui, or something. Let's eat some poutine or whatever it is. But then Trump's telling him, hey, you got to act quickly. All right, we have time for... We got to do this quick. One more quick call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, what's happening? This is Tony.
Tony, how are you, sir?
Hey, good. Hey, I just wanted to say a couple of things. WikiLeaks, never heard of it, and I'm just really glad that Donald Trump is our president. And you know what? They should probably take a little bit of advice from him, because he knows a lot.
Okay.
Bigly.
Well, he knows a lot about water, apparently, so that's great.
Yeah. He knows a lot about water, and he's a good president of the United States. You know what I mean? We need strong leadership. Thank God that Hillary did not get in.
All right. Well,
I can't disagree with that one either.
I didn't vote. I didn't vote for either. I didn't vote for either one of them. My hands are clean.
Me too. Come on, you gotta vote. You gotta vote.
I did vote.
Oh,
I
voted.
did not vote for them. I voted third party.
I voted. I always vote. I just I try to support independence whenever I can. I voted for the pot smoker, Gary Johnson.
I just want to say that. Have a good show.
All right, Tony. Thank you for the call, my friend. Take care.
I thought you voted for Vermin Supreme there, Maddie.
Bye-bye.
Are you cheating?
What's that?
You're cheating.
Oh, no, in the primary.
You said you voted for Vermin Supreme.
I did in the primary, but in the general election, I voted for Gary Johnson.
Well, so did I. But
just as I did in 2012.
I did not vote for, I will be honest, I did not vote for Vermin in the primary, but I did vote for Johnson in the general election. It was my choice, my vote.
Yes. Fred says, the nations raged, but your wrath came, and the time for the dead to be judged, and for rewarding your servants, the prophets and saints, and those who fear your name, both small and great, and for destroying the destroyers of the earth. Revelation 11:18. Isn't there...
You gotta read that better. I mean,
I know.
that was too vanilla. That was way too vanilla of a reading.
It's just because we're very much almost out of show. Michael Albert says, eating baguettes and croissants, because Trump hadn't told them yet to act quickly. Michael Albert says, did that caller say Hillary when referring to Hillary Clinton? Oh, Hitlery. Did that caller say Hitlery? No, I think he said Hillary.
No, he said Hillary. He said Hillary.
Referring
said Hillary.
to Tony. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Revelation, by the way, I've always, I'm not the greatest theologian, but...
Not my book.
I've always been... Well, that's true, right. You're only Old Testament, right?
That's not... What do you mean old? It's not an Old
or
Testament.
The Torah.
It is the Tanakh.
Oh, the Tanakh.
We have a name for it. It's not... my God, I hate that. I really do.
I'm agnostic. I don't know what to say about anything.
You're a recovering Catholic.
That's true. But I believe, isn't there a lot of, even among Christians, I think there's a lot of... I don't know if controversy is the right word, but there's a lot of argument over the book of Revelation and whether it even actually belongs in the Bible. Because Revelation, as I understand it, if you read it, it's got kind of an Old Testament vibe, even though it's at the end of the New Testament.
And there's been some arguments to say the same about Paul, but hey.
Paul?
Or John.
John. Yeah,
John. Yeah, it was John.
John's my favorite Beatle. You can't you can't have the Beatles without John.
He was my favorite Duran Duran guy.
I'm not saying you can't have the Beatles without Paul.
Do you know I still make my J like that to this day?
All right, we got to go. Thank you to everybody who called today. It was a very, very busy show. Thank you to everybody in the Facebook live chat. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. And that's it for now. Talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.